So here we are. It's Friday and we've made it through another week. And so only a few more weeks to go, and hopefully we can start seeing some progress made with being able to start maybe coming back together. We'll see how that goes. But I'm hopeful that God's going to work and that we'll be able to gather together in a joyous way again, looking forward to that moment every day. In Psalm 63, I want to read just very quickly verses 1 and 2. O God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you, my flesh longs for you, in a dry and thirsty land where there is no water. So I have looked for you in the sanctuary to see your power and your glory. What we see here really is the joy that David has in his fellowship with God. Now, I don't know about you. We finished up a study about the joy of God, the joy that Paul had in Philippians in our online Bible study last week. And it's just amazing what a joyous life looks like in Christ. And really, the centerpiece of all of those things is having God in an eternal perspective as the focus of everything that we do, everything that we practice, everything that we believe in our lives. And what you see in the life of David is really just this exemplified. He's saying, "Oh God, you are my God. Early will I seek you." Now, I'm a morning person. My wife is not. And so for me, my best thinking comes at the beginning of the day. And for her to get up early, it has to be something really important for her to have to get up early. And what you see here in the midst of that is, early will I seek you. With the first, with the best of who I am, I will give that to you today. It says, my soul thirsts for you, my flesh longs for you. Now, I don't know about you, but that is really a heavy statement for me. To think of my soul thirsting and longing for God. That should be really the cry of our hearts. It should be the way of our lives, that we should yearn for the things of God. We should hunger for the things of God. We should thirst for the things of God. And that is where our fellowship comes from. And he says, in a dry and thirsty land where there is no water. So what he's saying, in a place where there is lack of resources, where things are lacking that we would normally want, that we would normally take for granted, I yearn for you. Now, we can identify with that. We can identify with being in a place to where there's so many things that we would like, so many things we're missing out on, so many things that we can't do that we would want to do. And what he's saying is, in the midst of those things, you should long for God himself. In the midst of everything you feel like you're missing out on, your longing shouldn't be for those things. It should be for the presence of God himself, for God to speak and work in your life. And he says in verse 2, so I have looked for you in the sanctuary to see your power and your glory. One of the things that I want to show you that's a slight difference from David's time, is really not a slight difference, it's a massive difference really, is that David used to have, the temple to go to. He would have a tabernacle to go to, a place of worship. In the Old Testament, we had, the Solomon's temple that you could go to at this point. And we don't have to do that today. We are the temple of God. We are the tabernacle of God. The people of God, those who have placed their trust and faith, who have repented and believed in Christ, we are the tabernacle. We are the temple. We are the sanctuary of God. And so we don't have to go somewhere for that. It's right wherever we are, because God lives and dwells in us. It says, so I have looked for you in the sanctuary to see your power and your glory. What this means is that I'm searching you out on purpose so that I can see your power magnified, your glory exemplified in this world, in my life, in the place where I am at right now. See, if we yearn for God, we long for God above all other things, God will show himself mightily to us. But if we think of him as an afterthought, we cannot expect him to move like we want him to. We cannot expect him to show himself mightily because we don't really want him after all. We just want the benefits of the relationship without having the true relationship. David's joy in fellowship with God is that he had a real relationship with God. Do you have a real relationship with God? And what are you doing to work on that relationship? What are you doing to invest in that relationship. You may have extra time now. Maybe you're a first responder or medical or somebody else and you have less time now. But no matter how much time you have, your first investment should be in your relationship with God. And then everything else flows out of that. Guys, I love you. I'm praying for you. I hope you have a great weekend, and I look forward to worshiping together on Sunday.